Hello everyone, welcome to lecture number 4 for your group 13, 14 and 15 elements. So in today's lecture, what we are going to discuss is some of the important structures from group 13, 14 and 15 elements. So talking about some important structures, when we say important structures of group 13 elements, we are going to study the structure of boron trichloride, orthoboric acid, diborane and aluminium chloride. So the first one, when I say boron trichloride, is what we are going to start. When I say boron trichloride, you can see boron trichloride is made up of boron and chlorine. So the molecular formula is BCl3. Talking about the structure, we have is one boron and three chlorine atoms. There's a mistake in my PPT. It will be three chlorine atoms. And if I talk about the electronic configuration for chlorine, you know its atomic number is 17. So the electronic configuration becomes neon 3s2 3p5. This is how you write it, 3s2 3p5. And if I talk about boron, the atomic number is 5. So you can see 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. We say this is ground state. In excited state, what will happen is one electron from 2s will jump and move to 2p. So one electron when jumps from 2s to 2p, you can see have one electron in 2s, one in 2px and one in 2py. In this way, it has three unpaired electrons, and because it has three unpaired electrons, it can form sp2 hybridization. So you can see in case of boron, it forms sp2 hybridized orbital. So because it is forming sp2 hybridized orbital, you know the structure. It will represent a triangular shape, or you can say we say it's a non-polar trigonal planar molecule. And if we talk about the bond angle between boron and chlorine atoms, it will be 120 degrees. So this is how you write down the structure for BCl3. You can see boron is sharing 3 electrons, and because boron is sharing 3 electrons, it has now 6 electrons. Again, it is short of one lone pair, and therefore we can say it is an electron deficient compound or behaves as a Lewis acid. So put the heading as important structures of group 13, 14, 15 elements. First one is boron trichloride BCl3. You can draw this structure and you can write down all these points about BCl3. Shape, bond angle and the hybridization. Moving to the second one, after boron trichloride, we are going to start with orthoboric acid, or we also call it as the boric acid. When I say orthoboric acid, we say in case of orthoboric acid, you know the formula is H3BO3, or we can write down as BOH thrice. When I say BOH thrice, means here the central boron atom is linked to three OH atoms. This is how your actual structure looks like. You can see boron is linked to three OH atoms. You can put the heading as orthoboric acid or boric acid slash H3BO3 or BOH thrice. So looking at the structure, we say solid orthoboric acid. You can see in case of solid orthoboric acid, if you say H3BO3, if I talk about this red structure, you can see boron OH, boron OH, boron OH. We have over here H3BO3, and you can see this H3BO3 is linked to another molecule, and they are linked to each other with the help of these dotted bonds. So when you talk about these dotted bonds, they are nothing but hydrogen bonds. So we say solid orthoboric acid is mostly linked to each other with the help of hydrogen bonds. So you can write down that a layer of boric acid has a structure of BO3 minus with a charge, BO3 with a charge of -3, which are linked to each other by hydrogen bonds. If you want, you can draw this diagram or you can write down this point. Now, when I say boric acid, you all know when I say BOH thrice, it has hydroxy ions. When I say it has hydroxy ions, talking about its hydrolysis, when you put boric acid in water, what is the reaction that happens? BOH thrice, when you put it in water, it will react with, or we can say it reacts or it will gain a lone pair of electron. BOH thrice is similar to BCl3. You can see boron is sharing 3 electrons. After sharing, it becomes 6. It is short of one lone pair. So what it has is it has tendency to accept a lone pair from O atom. So BOH thrice accepts a lone pair from oxygen atom of hydroxyl ion and it becomes BOH4 minus. So solution में कितना H plus आयन मिला? एक H plus आयन मिला. मतलब solution में अगर H plus आयन freely घूम रहा है तो solution is acidic in nature and therefore we say it is an acid. Along with that, You can see if I write down this as H2O, we know water में कभी भी H plus freely नहीं घूमता. It is always hydronium ion, H3O plus. So you can write down this reaction in this way also. So what do you understand from here is, in this case, we understand that boron is accepting a lone pair of electron from oxygen. So we say in this case, BOH3 reacts partially with water to form hydronium ion. And because it is reacting partially with water, we say it accepts a lone pair of electron from water, and therefore we call it as a monobasic Lewis acid. Monobasic. Mono means one. Basic because this is releasing only one H plus ion. So you can write down H3BO3 accepts one lone pair of electron from water, and hence it is called as monobasic Lewis acid. You can write down any one of the reaction. This is just for your extra information. So you are done with orthoboric acid. The third important element that we're going to study is diborane. When I say diborane, you can see diborane has a formula of B2H6. When I say B2H6, means you have boron over here. And we normally say it's a dimer of BH3. BH3 ka dimer. The diborane, write down formula B2H6. You can see how it is formed. We say B2H6 is nothing but dimer of BH3. Means boron has atomic number 5. Electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. This is ground state. In excited state, what will happen? One electron from 2s will jump into 2p. One electron from 2s, when it jumps into 2p, what happens is the electron becomes 2s1, 2p, 1, 1. And in that way, you can see we have 3 unpaired electrons. It becomes sp3 hybridized. And if it becomes sp3 hybridized, we'll have a trigonal planar structure. So boron, you can see when I say BH3, it's a dimer, B2H6. We'll have 2 boron atoms. So you can see when I draw the structure of boron, B, 1, 2, 3. These are 3 hybrid orbitals. The one hybrid orbital, you can see the pink one is the one which was not hybridized because it is not having any unpaired electron. Now, if I talk about all these boron atoms, you can see they have 1, 1 electron. As I said, B2H6, I'll write one more. You can see these 3 are nothing but the hybrid orbitals. And the last one was a non-hybrid because it's not containing any electron. So we'll have again 1, 1 electron in this. Now what happens is B2H6 means each boron is going to share 1 electron with hydrogen atom. So when one boron shares electron with hydrogen atom, you have 4 hydrogen atoms which are present at the corner, or we say it is present at the terminal. We call them as terminal hydrogen atoms, and therefore we name it as HT. Means in case of diborane, you have 4 terminal hydrogen atoms in this way. Same way, if you move ahead, what happens is the central element, that is, if we talk about the boron, it is going to have 2 more hydrogen atoms at the center. Or we can see this hydrogen atom is linking the 2 boron atoms, and therefore we also call it as bridge hydrogen atom. Now, if you look at the structure, HB because bridge hydrogen atom, if you look at the structure, you can see each boron is sharing electrons with 4 terminal hydrogen atoms. So I can say each boron is sharing with 2 hydrogen at the terminal. So you can see over here we have 2 nucleus, one from the boron and one from the hydrogen. Means I can say here we have we have 2 nucleus, one of the hydrogen and one of boron, and therefore we have 2 electrons also. So we can say it is a 2 center 2 electron bond. We call it as 2 center 2 electron bond. Why? Because you have 2 nucleus and 2 electrons. So you have how many 2 center 2 electron bond? We have 4 because you have 4 terminal hydrogen atoms. Talking about the center one, you can see here we have 2 boron atoms, one this one and the other one this. Because we have 2 boron atoms, means 2 nucleus from boron and 1 from hydrogen, means we can say we have 3 centers, but the electron over here is only 2. So this type of bond is called as 3 center 2 electron bond. You can put the heading as diborane, B2H6. You can write down dimer of BH3, and you can write down this structure. So you can see what we see is we have total 12 valence electrons. If you can count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So we have 12 12 valence electrons, 3 from boron each, means 3 plus 3, 6, and 1 from each hydrogen, and we have total 6 hydrogen. So we totally get is 12 valence electrons. So in this, we say we should have how many bonds? We should have 8 bonds. But if you can see, the number of electrons required is 14. Means we should have had 4 from boron and 1 from hydrogen. But from boron, we have only 3 electrons. Means again, I can say it is short of 1 electron pair. And because it is short of 1 electron pair, it can behave as a Lewis acid, or we can say it's an electron deficient compound. We say molecules like B2H6 do not have sufficient number of electrons to form normal covalent bond, that is 2 center 2 electron pair bonds, and therefore we say it's an electron deficient molecule or a Lewis acid. So you can draw this structure, write down electron deficient molecule or Lewis acid. So in this way, if it is using this hybrid orbital, the pink one, we can say it has sp3 hybridization. So moving ahead with the structure, you can see boron is linked with 4 terminal hydrogen atoms and 2 bridge hydrogen atoms. So you can see this structure. If you want, you can draw this structure. This structure represents the shape of a banana, and therefore we also call this as banana bond. Means we can say diborane has banana bonds. Along with that, if you want, you can see if I draw the structure properly, you have terminal hydrogen atoms. This is the one, and you have bridge hydrogen atoms also. So looking at the structure, you always get a question in the exam that which bond is greater in length, is the terminal one or the bridge one. So you can remember the structure. The bridge hydrogen atoms, they are greater in length. You can see it's 134 picometer, whereas the terminal is 119 picometer. You get the question why the bridge hydrogen atoms are greater than terminal hydrogen atoms. You need to remember bridge hydrogen atoms because we have 3 center 2 electron bond, and therefore to avoid repulsion from the other elements, to stabilize it, they move away, and therefore the bond length for bridge hydrogen atoms is greater in case of diborane. So if you want, you can draw this structure also. It's up to you which one do you want to draw. You need to remember diborane has banana bond. You need to remember HB. The bond length of HB is greater than HT. Talking about diborane, you know, B2H6, where do we use it? We normally use it for destruction of buildings. Old buildings can be destroyed with the help of diborane. So you can see something extra information for you all. When I say diborane reacts with ammonia, diborane reacts with ammonia to form something called as an adduct. Adduct means it is a mixture of all the compounds. You can say adduct is nothing but addition product. So you can see B2H6 and NH3. When it combines, you form an adduct. And this adduct, when you heat it at 200 degrees Celsius, it gives a compound called as borazole. As I said, this is an extra information. Don't need to remember the chemical equation. Borazole, you can see the formula is B3N3H6. When I say B3N3H6, this is the structure. And you can see this structure is almost similar to what you have studied for benzene. क्योंकि स्ट्रक्चर ऑलमोस्ट बेंजीन जैसा है, बट बेंजीन में कार्बन होता है, यहाँ पे कार्बन नहीं है, यहाँ पे क्या है, बोरॉन और नाइट्रोजन. एंड बिकॉज बोरॉन और नाइट्रोजन है, कार्बन नहीं है, वी ऑल्सो कॉल्ड बोराजीन और बोराजोल एज इनऑर्गेनिक बेंजीन. दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू नीड टू नोट डाउन. Diborane is used for preparation of borazole or borazine, and this borazole or borazine is called as inorganic benzene. We sometimes even ask you a question that which one is more reactive, benzene ज़्यादा reactive होगा कि borazine. You can see borazine will be more reactive क्योंकि benzene जो है non polar है, कार्बन हाइड्रोजन non polar, बट यहाँ पे बोरॉन और नाइट्रोजन के बीच में electronegative difference ज़्यादा होगा, and because of the electronegative difference we say they are polar in nature. And you can see over here the electrons are more delocalized as in case of benzene. So that is something extra information that you need to remember for your future exams. So we are done with boron trichloride. We are done with orthoboric acid. We are done with diborane. We'll move ahead to aluminium chloride. When we studied, you know, reactions of chlorine halogens with group 13 elements, we had studied the structure of aluminium chloride. When I say aluminium chloride, AlCl3, it is similar to boron. it will have sp2 hybridized atom, means three aluminium atoms are going to share 3 electrons and would have total 6 electrons. Because now having total 6 electrons, we say the structure will be deficient, or it will have tendency to accept an electron pair and it will behave as Lewis acid. So when we say AlCl3, in case of structure, it will never exist as AlCl3. It will always form a dimer. So you can see, if you remember, when we studied similarity between beryllium and aluminium, at that time I told you that aluminium forms bridge-like structure. You can see over here aluminium. This is one molecule of AlCl3 and this is another one. So chlorine atoms, because they have extra lone pair of electrons, because chlorine atoms have extra lone pair of electrons, they are giving that lone pair of electron to aluminium, and therefore you can see, because of the formation of these coordinate bonds, they are forming a bridge like structure for aluminium chloride. So in that way, what you get is AlCl3 as a dimer. So you can see this is actually structure of AlCl3. You can write down, in case of AlCl3, aluminium atom is sp2 hybridized. It has 6 electrons and therefore behave as Lewis acid, and mostly behaves or is present in the form of dimer. You can draw any one of the structure, either the first one or the second one, whichever you prefer. Moving ahead, we are going to now study important structures of group 14 elements. And the very first we have is silicon dioxide, SiO2. Now when I say silica, SiO2, you remember it is also common name is silica, and chemical name we call it as silicon dioxide. Occurrence, it is normally present in the Earth's crust. It is the second most abundant element that we know. So we say in the Earth's crust around 95% we have is sand. It is made up of silica and silicates. The crystalline form of silica, if you all remember, was quartz, cristobalite, and tritymite. So you can put the heading as important element, important structure of group 14, silica, present in the Earth's crust. Crystalline form, we have is quartz, cristobalite, and tritymite. Moving to the structure of silica, SiO2, you can see silicon dioxide. We say it has a 3D network-like structure. The structure is almost similar to what you studied for diamond. It has a 3D network-like structure. This is what you can see. And you can see somewhat like tetrahedral. You can see over here, this one. It is almost representing a tetrahedral structure. So similar to that of diamond. So we can say silicon over here is covalently bonded to 4 other oxygen atoms. Because silicon is covalently bonded to 4 other oxygen atoms, we say silicon over here has sp3 hybridization, and that too they are bonded to each other in a tetrahedral manner. We say it's a giant molecule, or you can say 3-dimensional giant molecule. And you can see in this structure we have alternate silicon oxygen atoms, and we have normally we say 8 membered rings are formed with alternate silicon and oxygen atoms. So this is about the structure of silica. You can even write on silicon has over here sp3 hybridization. Put the heading as silicon dioxide, write down this about the structure, and also draw this. Moving about silica, if you remember, we have discussed this. Silica is non-reactive in nature. As we say, silica is slightly acidic also, because its bond enthalpy, you can say silicon and oxygen, the bond enthalpy is very high. We say it's almost non-reactive, and it does not react with acids, metals, halogen, and even with hydrogen. It is not going to react, because it's an acid, so it's not going to react with acids, even with metals, halogen, and hydrogen. Therefore silica glass is used for making optical instruments in the lab. Other than that, you can see this is again extra. Silica being an acid will not react with an acid, but you remember it is reacting with one acid, that is HF. So we say silica is soluble in HF, if you remember this question. So SiO2 when reacts with HF, it gives you SiF4 plus H2O, that is silicon tetrafluoride. Silica being acid will react easily with bases. So you can see we have silica reacting with NaOH to give you sodium silicate, and we have water over here. So you can see silica, we normally say it's acidic in nature, but Because it slightly reacts with HF, we can even say it is amphoteric in nature because it is showing you reaction with both acid as well as base. So this was all about group 14 elements, silica. This was extra, as I said, information. Group 15 elements, we're going to study two important structures. One is nitric acid and second is phosphoric acid. So let's start with the first one, that is nitric acid. When I say nitric acid, you can see nitric acid is HNO3. You can see the structure, how it is actually. We say it's H, O, N, and then O. And because we have HONO, we say it shows you resonance structure. You can see resonance structure. Why? We can see here, the first one, you have single bond here and double bond here. And here you have double bond here and single bond here. Because of the oxygen atom, the elements, they are changing the position of electrons. You can see here we have 6 lone pair and 3 lone pair and 2 lone pair. But here we have 3 lone pair and 2 lone pair. So because a nitric acid shows us resonance structure, we can study its resonance hybrid structure. So first of all, moving to the resonance hybrid, put the heading as nitric acid, and you can see the structure of resonance hybrid is in this way. This way you can see when we say nitric acid, we say nitric acid is a planar molecule where the central atom, nitrogen, is sp2 hybridized. When we say sp2 hybridized, you can see the bond angle over here, it's trigonal planar. Along with that, we say it exhibits resonance phenomena, which we saw. The bond length between H and O is 96 picometer, O and N is 146 picometer, and the bond angle HON is 120 degree, whereas ONO is 130 degree. So this is about the structure of nitric acid. You can, if you want, you can draw the previous resonance structures also, or you can draw this resonance hybrid structure and write down these points with respect to nitric acid. The important point that you need to remember is nitrogen is sp2 hybridized. Moving to the last important structure of group 15 element, that is phosphoric acid. When I say phosphoric acid, we also call it as orthophosphoric acid or phosphoric acid, H3PO3. So before we go to phosphoric acid, we'll first learn about oxy acids of phosphorus, because we have different types of phosphoric acid like H3PO4, H3PO3, H3PO2, H2P2O5 in that way. So when we say, whenever you have oxy acid, acid मतलब हाइड्रोजन होगा, ऑक्सी मतलब ऑक्सीजन होगा और फोस्फोरस होगा. तो जब भी आप लोग ऑक्सी एसिड, डिफरेंट ऑक्सी एसिड्स ऑफ फोस्फोरस पढ़ रहे हैं, वी से फोस्फोरस इज टेट्राहेड्रली सराउंडेड बाय अदर एटम्स. When I say tetrahedrally surrounded, means, you know, it will be having sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral structure. This way the structure will be present. In this we say जितने भी एसिड्स हैं उनके पास एटलीस्ट एक P डबल बॉन्ड O होगा और एक P डैश OH होगा. मतलब फिक्स है कि यहाँ पे यू कैन सी P डबल बॉन्ड O है, एक POH है, बाकी दो जो है वो वेरिएबल हो सकता है. So starting with the very first, you can put the heading as orthophosphorus acid, sorry, orthophosphoric acid / phosphoric acid or H3PO4. So you can see H3PO4, when I say, we'll first draw what? आपको जब स्ट्रक्चर ड्रॉ करने बोला, सबसे पहले P डबल बॉन्ड O ड्रॉ करोगे, P डैश OH ड्रॉ करोगे, देन P के पास O ड्रॉ किया, जितने O है हमारे पास, ऑक्सीजन 4 थे तो 1 2 3 4, एंड इसी हिसाब से मैं हाइड्रोजन भी ड्रॉ किया क्योंकि 1 हो चुका है तो 2 and 3. So this is the structure of phosphoric acid. You can see when we talk about phosphoric acid, H3PO4. When I say H3PO4, you all know the charge of phosphorus. Sorry, we don't know the charge of phosphorus. We know the charge of oxygen and hydrogen. So you can calculate O having the charge of -2 and H having the charge of +1. If you solve this as X, you can see 4 2s are 8. This becomes 3. So 8 minus 3, the X becomes +5. So we can see the phosphoric acid that we are studying right now. In that, the oxidation state of phosphorus is +5. Moving ahead, talking about the structure, we say phosphoric acid is a strong, non-toxic mineral acid because it's containing phosphorus as a mineral and it's non-toxic in nature. We say it contains 3 ionizable acidic hydrogen. 3 ionizable acidic hydrogens means जब H3PO4 को हम पानी में डालेंगे तो वो आपको कितने H plus ions दे सकते हैं. H3PO4 we said gives you 3 H plus PO4 with a charge of 3 minus. We say it can give you 3 H plus ions. Why can it give you 3 H plus ions? क्योंकि यहाँ से जब OH है ना तो बॉन्ड टूटेगा, H प्लस आयन बन के घूम जाएगा एंड O माइनस विल बी लेफ्ट. यहाँ से भी H एक दे देगा आयन, O माइनस रह जाएगा. यहाँ से भी H मिल जाएगा एंड O माइनस रह जाएगा. So we say it can give you 3 ionizable acidic hydrogen atoms or ions, sorry. Next important point, we say the structure of phosphoric acid is tetrahedral because in this the central atom P is having sp3 hybridization, or we can say it's tetrahedral in nature. So for phosphoric acid, you all can write down this. You can write down the structure. You can write down these points. And very important, you can write down 3 ionizable acidic hydrogen atom. The oxidation state is +5. This is all with respect to phosphoric acid. Some extra information that I'm going to discuss now. When I say phosphoric acid, we also have sometimes, you can see, H3PO4 हमने डिस्कस किया. जब मैं बोल रही हूँ H3PO3 or if I'm talking about H3PO2, you can see the difference between the structure. Phosphoric acid मैंने बोला सबसे पहले याद रखेंगे P डबल बॉन्ड हो और एक OH फिक्स्ड होगा. You can see H3 मतलब 3 हाइड्रोजन होंगे तो 1 2 3. PO3 मतलब 3 ऑक्सीजन है, 1 2 3. This is the structure for H3PO3. And similarly, if I predict for H3PO2, you can see सबसे पहले P double bond O, OH, H3 and PO2. You can see 2 oxygen are complete. I have it hydrogen and hydrogen. Now, जैसे कि हमने H3PO3 में क्या देखा कि it will give you how many H plus ions? It will give you 3 H plus ions. यहाँ वैसा नहीं है. H3PO3 हमें 3 hydrogen atoms नहीं देगा. H3PO2 will not give you 3 hydrogen atoms. Something exceptions over here. Very important with respect to entrance. You can see H3PO3 यहाँ पे it can give you 1 H plus ion. It can give you 2 H plus ion. क्योंकि ये H plus ion रिलीज कर देगा और पीछे O माइनस रह जाएगा, O माइनस. बट यहाँ पे अगर उसने H का बॉन्ड तोड़ दिया, if you think that this phosphorus atom will break the H bond and give you hydrogen ion, that is not possible. क्योंकि अगर हाइड्रोजन ब्रेक हो गया तो यहाँ पे बॉन्ड टूट जाएगा और मॉलिक्यूल का स्ट्रक्चर स्टेबल नहीं रहेगा. And therefore this hydrogen won't be released. So here we say you get 2 ionizable H plus ions. Whereas here you can see ये और ये मिलने वाला नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ एक ही मिलेगा क्योंकि O और H का बॉन्ड टूट के H plus ion can be released and only O minus is left behind. So here we have only one ionizable H plus ions. So this was exception, therefore I am giving you this as extra information. H3PO3 and H3PO2. जबकि H3PO4 में हमने देखा कि फॉर्मूला में 3 हाइड्रोजन है, आपको 3 H plus मिल रहा है. बट यहाँ के केस में यू हैव फॉर्मूला में 3 हाइड्रोजन बट इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू गिव यू 3 H plus ions. You can see this one gives you 2 ionizable, this one gives you 1 ionizable H plus ion. So this is for your extra information which will be used in future. So this completes your topic for molecular structures of group 13, 14 and 15 elements. We'll see some extra important compounds, their preparation and properties in the next class. Till then, see you everyone. Take care.